Well, hello there. So I am at Richmond Yacht Club today to test out my autonomous sailboat Nani, and we're just going to try to see if it might be ready to go into the bay. So I'm going to be testing it in the harbor today, but my ultimate goal is to send it out into at least the Richmond Channel, if not farther in the bay. So I want to test some of the autonomous features, the ability to follow waypoints when it's farther away. So that's going to be the test today. Let's see how it does. All right, so I'm rigged up, connected on the laptop here. You can see, I'll show you in a second, the boat's all rigged. I've got my transmitter, the boat, all ready to roll. Let's see what happens. So I've got a new plan here that's going to just go up and down, basically in the middle of the harbor, from somewhere around there, if it all works out. So this gives us a look at the ground station screen and the path we're trying to do. So waypoint 1 is here and waypoint 2 is there. The wind is coming from the bottom of the screen. So waypoint 2 is an upwind mark. Waypoint 1 is a downwind mark. The other things to notice are there is a polygon here drawn on the map, and this is a fence. So anytime the boat gets within, I think, 2 meters of this fence, if it's going upwind, it'll tack. The other way it decides to tack is if it gets a certain distance from this course line, and I think that is set to 10 meters. But it's this cross-track error. When it reaches the threshold, it'll tack, or when it hits the fence, whichever happens first. So I put it in the water and I let it go. I can steer with the radio control transmitter just like an RC sailboat, but when I push a button it starts the autonomous control. Both the radio transmitter and the laptop ground station talk.
Mode change to auto.
You'll hear them at various times in the video. So it's headed downwind to the first waypoint, and it does pretty well at first. Even when it jibes, it gets back on course. And this is fully autonomous, so the transmitter's sitting on the ground.
Heading to waypoint 2.
That was reaching the waypoint, and now it's headed upwind. And this is where you'll see the one issue that it has is it does this funny tacking behavior, and that's going to be the big theme of this video, is why the S turns in the tack. So it's getting close to this dock, but the fence should catch it. And there it's tacking. And tacking back. And eventually it gets back on course. So this is sped up 10 times just to get up to that windward mark and head back down again. So it's working, it got to the waypoints, but it has really weird tacking behavior where it tacks and then untacks and then stops and then tacks again. I don't know if it's the apparent wind or something else, but definitely going to have to look at the data. Longer legs are helpful though. Downwind is fine. So now it's going to turn and head back upwind.
Heading to waypoint 2.
You can see it pulled in the sail, decided to tack. Off it goes. So here it's going upwind, and there's a fence in the flight plan on the other side of the harbor, so hopefully it'll tack by itself when it gets over there. If not, I can flip a switch on the transmitter and make it tack. See, it went back. And it has to stop. And eventually it figures it out. The fact that it has to slow way down to make it makes me think it's an apparent wind issue, that it turns into the wind and it's confused on the wind direction. But I don't know. Tacked back. But it's sailing nicely in the breeze here, so it's okay. Well, maybe it's going to go a little longer there. Tack. Keep going. No, it gave up. There it goes. No, it's kind of in irons. Now it's steering straight to the waypoint, I think. Got a big lift. Or overstood because it missed that tack, probably. We'll look at the course on the laptop next.
Reached waypoint.
Heading to waypoint 1.
Jai Boys throws it off. It's way off course now. There it goes. Waypoint 2 is that away, man. Or waypoint 1. Could use some feedback of heel into rudder, probably. Might help the rounding up.
Reached waypoint 1.
Heading to waypoint 2.
Where are you gonna go? This way. Come on, keep tacking. You can do it. Oh, oh, yep. There we go. See that S turn? I don't know, it bugs me. It's getting around the waypoints. There's a tack up here somewhere. Shaking my head. There it goes, now that it's stopped. I had the sail trimmed in a little tighter before, and when it would do that, it would get stuck head to wind and really get stuck in irons, but this little bit looser on the sail seems to be good, and it seems to be trimmed all right. Those tailtails are flying. It's not pointing very aggressively, but that's okay. Oh, it made a whole tack. Good job. Waypoint should be. Oh, one more tack to the waypoint.
Reached waypoint 2.
Heading to waypoint 1.
So overall, it worked. It sailed around the waypoints, and I think it might be able to go out farther in the bay. It seemed to handle the breeze and a little bit of waves just fine. It does have this weird tacking behavior where it tacks back, and you can see it here on this track of the last few runs where it tacks and then tacks back. I'm still trying to figure out what that is. My working theory right now is that as the boat turns, because the wind vane is sticking out the back of the boat, the wind vane senses the yaw, the turn of the boat, and that would give a wind shift that would look like it would come, rather than coming from the bottom of the page here, when it's turning this way, it's going to come from the side, from the right side here. And that would make it turn back, because it would think it would be on a big header on the new tack. So that might be what it is. It might also just be a navigation oscillation. It might be aggressively turning too much and coming back. And I don't really have data to prove one or the other yet. I did do another test on a different day with some parameters changed, and I was able to make it work a little better by having it just hold this course for a longer time. And that way it's pretty much going straight by the time it starts to follow the wind again. But I don't know, still that really didn't tell me what the problem was, but it was a little bit of a fix. So that's where it stands right now. I'll probably try to take it out in the bay here in the next couple of weeks, or at least out into the Richmond Channel. So I will leave you now. If you want to watch a little tour of the inside of Nani, you can see all of the parts. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Alright, so here's the insides. We've got battery, great big servo for the sail. Sail in, you can see 1 to 2 to get twice as much throw. Comes out there, comes up to the boom. So it just has an outhaul bogey. Sail pin. There's a RC receiver and an
Telemetry lost.
Computer. Too close, so I'm saturating.
Telemetry recovered.
There's the telemetry right here, that radio. There's the
GPS
wind vane
required.
right there. Speaking of GPS, there's the GPS and compass in this module here, and the autopilot board has got telemetry going to the receiver that I get on my RC transmitter, and it's got telemetry going to the regular wireless modems that you use for ardupilot, and it's got the wind vane wired in, and there's a 5-volt DC to DC converter underneath to give power to the servos. I think that's all the pieces. I'm using this Radio Master TX16 and its telemetry pages. I get the messages here that tells me if it's tacking. I also get a little artificial horizon somewhere. There's the artificial horizon with battery voltage and things. Then there's a map display right there, but I don't have the background map loaded. And I just turned it on, so it's just showing the boat right there. And then the laptop runs Mission Planner, and that's where I get all the rest of the info.